everybody. Welcome to the Poker Sesh.
Of course, the other one, the second option.
Of course, the second fucking option. Of course, it's the second fucking option. It's always the second option. It's never been the first option in the history of the fucking universe. It's always the second option. It's always the second option. 201, you're on Poker Sesh.
I'm on time this time.
Yeah. All right, it's my man, Christian Soto, avid beachgoer. If you guys remember when I was in Napa, and I did the show from Napa, Soto was my guest, and he came on about a half hour late because he's at the beach with one of his chicks, living the dream.
Oh, man, don't say one of the chicks. I think my girl's listening. She might not like that one.
So, tonight, you are going to interview me for a red chip poker. Is that correct?
That's right. But I don't want it to be like one of these like really formal interviews. Like I watch your show. It can't be too formal or else we'll put these people to sleep.
Well, we can make it as formal or informal as you want. You know, if you want me to take calls, it could get really informal really fast. If you don't want me to take calls, then, you know, we'll see what happens.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions, and then we could, if you want to take some calls, we could do that. I don't have like too many questions for you. I don't want to not too much pressure today. You know?
Or, you know, I could just take questions out of the chat. We can take questions out of the chat together at some point, or we could
Sounds good.
Or, you know, later on in the show we could take calls if we want. Well, you know, we'll just play it by ear, but we'll start it out, I guess, as like a real interview. You know.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm going to be very.
All right, so,
we're starting out very official. I'm gonna act very professional at the beginning. So.
Yeah. I'm leaving my tie on. All right. So first question I have, and I feel like this is a very common question that, you know, across the table. How important do you feel GTO is to your games? Like, especially like live games where like everything's about, people just have this ongoing battle between like, do I want to play GTO? Do I even care about GTO? Like, what do you think?
No, I don't care at all about it. I have no interest at all. I mean, it's nice to read about, you know, it's fun to learn, and it's fun to like, you know, even like sort of look at like, oh, you know, this is the GTO way to play rock, paper, scissors, and this is what you do to make it so you're inexploitable, and this is what you would do to exploit somebody, blah, blah, blah. I mean, having like, being just interested in general is important, but I don't think it really makes any difference to my actual play in games. I mean, it might at some sort of subliminal level, but like at the actual, you know, like conscious level, I'm basically just thinking exploit. I'm looking for things that I can do that are way out of balance, that are going to cause my opponents to lose the most money, because I basically don't feel like they're paying close enough attention to exploit me, number one. And number two, when they do, it sort of becomes obvious when they think that they can exploit you, like, oh, you know, every time I raise Abe on the river, he folds or something. And then it's like, as soon as the guy you can see it, like, and then of course you got to, you know, have a counterattack. But I mean, the amount of times that I have to come up with a counterattack per year is probably like less than 3. So it's not really something that I think about very often. And I'm playing mid-high, 5, 10, 10, 20 level.
Yeah, of course. But like, do you feel like maybe you specifically, though, are balanced just by the sheer number of hands that you've played? Like, you're just balanced. Whereas, like, maybe somebody like me that, like, you know, hasn't played as many years as you, is not as like in tune to like, you know, all these like internal dynamics of games, you know, like maybe someone younger might feel the need to like have to play like this.
Well, here's the thing. If you're paying attention to the game, right? And if you're paying attention to your opponents, what you're going to notice is, I mean, this is like very simple stuff, but I'm going to get to something. You play different against different people, okay? right?
Right.
Now, you also play different against the same person when he's in a different mood, right?
Yes.
So amongst 9 players of the table, or 8 players, we play 9-handed in Los Angeles. Amongst the other 8 tables of players of the table, I might have 18 to 27 different playing styles, right?
Yeah.
So I defy somebody to figure out what I'm doing. Because, yes, a world-class player is going to figure out what I'm doing. But who cares? I'm not,
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares if Ike Haxton could come and figure out what I'm doing, I don't fucking care. Who cares?
You don't play against that caliber of player on a daily, that's not where your bread and butter is coming from.
No, it's just a waste of time. I mean, who cares if even the best player in that player pool can start to figure out what I'm doing? It really doesn't make any difference. Here, I'll tell you something. Let me take a puff.
Go take a little puff. Take a little sip of that wine too.
Okay, please do. Thank you. Because I was trying to be professional. It lasted exactly 8 minutes. Okay, now listen.
Nah, I had no expectations of that too.
Listen, take the best player in my player pool. I mean, there's a few really good players in my player pool, but a guy I hang out with a lot like Zach Freeman, or a guy I hang out with a lot like Bryce Yoki.
Those are good players. Zach Freeman's really good.
Yeah, they know my game. I know their game. I'm not fooling them very often. Bryce Yoki likes to fool himself a lot. Zach, is a very competitive guy, and he has his moments when he's a little hot. But I mean, for the most part, if I had to play against dudes like that every day, or even a guy who's maybe not in their class but is a tough player, like let's say a JCW, you're just not going to beat the rake. I mean, they're raking me. Yeah. I'm getting raked $40,000 a year right out the gate. $40,000 a year right out the gate. Okay, my first $40,000 is down the fucking box. So if you think you're going to beat even medium good tough players, you're not. Live poker is about bad players, okay? And if there's a tough player at the table, I will if I'm like playing my A game, here's the thing about tough players. Let me tell you something about tough players. I'm going to take a puff.
All right.
Really tough. There's different types of tough players. There's tough players who won't put a lot of pressure on you, and there's tough players that will put a lot of pressure on you. There's like real live tags who play sort of so tight, like a Sklansky type or a Mason Malmuth type. These are tough players. They know what they're doing, but they play so goddamn tight. You can almost discount them in a lot of ways.
You just play around them, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's an empty seat, but it's also an empty seat that's going to take some of. It's not going to take any of my money, but it's going to take money from the table. Basically, it's just like a drain. It's like another rake box, right?
Yeah.
And then there's tough players who are going to be a pain in your ass, all the way up to the ones that really are losing players, but they're just kamikazes. They make your life a living hell. The tough players that are going to be a real pain in your ass will almost always let you sit on their left, because either they have too much arrogance or too much pride to move to your left. Okay, so when I play against a really tough player and I'm playing my A game, I'm not just like hosting the game and sort of fucking around. I'll just take the first seat to their left, calmly. I won't ask the dealer for a seat change button or whatever. I'll just calmly, when it comes up, saunter over to a different seat. Like, I need to see the TV better. And now that tough player, that world-class player, has basically been completely neutralized. 100% completely neutralized, will never be a problem for me for the rest of the night. I'm going to be more of a problem for them than they are going to be for me. And
I like it.
So it's not like, I'm not trying to like reinvent the fucking wheel, I'm just trying to win money, and I'm trying to sort of like, I know who I'm there for. I'm not there for like a leveling war with the world-class player. That is not, right. I have no interest in it. It's not a moneymaker. In the end of the day, if any of these it's hot in here. If you can see my thing, it's fucking hot. It's like it's raining in Los Angeles, and so I thought it was going to be cool, so I didn't turn on the air. But what it's really done is it's so freaking humid that I'm just going to be like my hair is going to look like I got Jerry curl. I'm not going to have Jerry curl, you know. It's going to look like Jerry curl, but it's not Jerry curl. Okay. So anyway, here comes my beautiful wife. She heard me complaining, and now she's going to turn on the air. Look at my life. What a life.
People care about you.
She heard me bitching, and now she's going to turn on the air. But I wasn't asking her to turn on the air, but later she'll be like, remember when I turned on the air for you? Now you owe me. So it's semi-nice.
Always ticks and tags, dude. Always ticks and tags. All right.
You're my poker hero.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm glad we got that one in. I was about to end the show, and I didn't know that we had another great call coming in. So, wow, I'm glad I got that one in. So.